If you haven't played Assassin's Creed Odyssey before, perhaps you want to dive back into the game after a long hiatus to actually give this recent extra Kassandra DLC crossover a go, then now is most certainly the time to do it this weekend, as it is completely free to download and play, and it's out right now. The free weekend runs from December the 16th to December the 19th, so essentially Thursday to Sunday evening at 7 PM. And if you do decide to actually purchase the game after giving this a whirl across the weekend, your game save will transition across, so you can just continue where you left off. Now, when it comes to download size, it's going to vary depending upon if it's a standard base game that you're downloading, or perhaps you're just doing a fresh game update since the last time you played. But generally, you're going to be looking around 40 to 50 gigabytes, with the additional 13 gigabytes for that bonus Odyssey Kassandra DLC if you haven't updated the game in a while. Now, I didn't run into any issues downloading it on Ubisoft Connect for the PC or on the Xbox Store, but if you do, make sure you let others know down below in the comments. It's always good to kind of flag issues with one another and help each other out. Now, I have mentioned that Kassandra DLC, and you may or may not be aware that Ubisoft have actually released these two free-to-play side quests for Valhalla and Odyssey, and it is actually called the Crossover Stories, and I actually did a full breakdown in a recent video which I'll pop at the end of this one if you're interested. However, if your only intention is to just log on and play this Kassandra DLC for yourself and see what it is all about, then you can actually do so this weekend, as of course it is free to play, and perhaps it's a good idea to do so if you've never played Odyssey before. So with that in mind, the actual requirements to play this crossover quest line is to have finished chapter 1 in the storyline and reach the city of Megaris. Now, for the purpose of this video, I actually started a fresh game to test this out directly and not just load one of my old Odyssey saves. And it actually took me an hour and a half to complete chapter 1 of the story, which is when this Kassandra DLC will become available to you. So as soon as you arrive in Megaris, you'll have to proactively look on your map and head back to Kephallonia Island, where you're going to find the quest giver at Sammy's port. Now, for those of you who are loading back into Odyssey, having completed the game or made significant progress, the quest should proactively appear on your screen, but only after you've completed 3 of the main quest lines. So that would be the family, the cult of Cosmos, and the mythology quest lines. Otherwise, just simply log on and just head to Kephallonia Island on your map to actually start this quest. Now, what I would say is that if you are starting a completely new game to play this quest line, make sure you get to level 10 after you complete chapter 1. The patch notes say that the side quest will scale. Well, it kind of does if you're level 10 and above. So I actually started the quest line at level 5, and yeah, there is a lot of skull enemies. It was a very painful experience when it shouldn't have been, even when I had the level scaling turned off and the difficulty down to easy. So yeah, complete chapter 1 and get to level 10. Now, in terms of what this actual quest line is all about, it's actually supposed to be played after the Fate of Atlantis DLC, where Kassandra or Alexios, depending upon who you played, goes searching for Isu artifacts across the world, which also explains how Kassandra ends up in Valhalla. Now, I'm not going to talk about the storyline in depth here, apart from that brief synopsis, but this extra DLC takes approximately around 2 or so hours, and it's genuinely good fun. Also, I know a lot of you were asking in the comments in the previous video, but you don't actually have to play as Kassandra in this side quest, by the way. You can actually pick this quest line up as Alexios, as you can kind of see here on the screen, and you will also pick up a few new rewards after finishing this story, such as the Mad Captain's Sword, which is going to provide you with some solid warrior and hunter damage. We also get the Knife of Dallwun, which also gives you some decent assassination and warrior damage, on top of this awesome looking Origins torso with Kassandra's hidden blade on the wrist there. And I actually nearly forgot to mention the Getaway Garb outfit you get for just completing the Korfu side quest as well. It's not great, but you know, it looks pretty cool. Also want to say a big thanks to Valkyrie for getting these visuals across to me real fast. Much appreciated, do that. And by the way, if you have found this video helpful, and only if you wouldn't mind, a very swift like down below on the video only takes a second, and it generally helps me out a lot. So thank you very much. And I think that is all the info that you actually need to know about this free weekend. I'm going to be popping that Valhalla Kassandra crossover recap on your screen right now if you want to know about what's going on in Valhalla. So I'll hopefully catch you there in a moment. And of course, before that, coffee is most certainly on me.